welcome to Bastard Den, everybody. I'm Jimmy K, along with E-Dub and Stoli, and a studio full of people here. Guys from Axiom are here, rockers hanging out, Alan Talaga, Shawn Brown, and comedian Chris Lay.
I sure hope the fire marshal doesn't stop.
No shit, dude. Fire X's out the little windows right
That's
here,
right,
guys.
yeah.
That's how you
We'll give
start
you a
every
boost.
meeting. You know, you're supposed to point out the fire exits,
That's
I guess. Fire extinguishers over there. What's up, Chris? You ever have fires in your place, man?
No, I've never had any fires. I had a bat one time.
What's that?
A bat one time.
A bat?
Never had a fire.
How'd you get rid of the bat?
I trapped it in a box. Like the bat was like just flying like from one end of like the apartment to the other, and I just picked up a box and just like kind of just threw it at the bat, and then it just kind of like went right in there.
Did you then set the bat on fire?
I wish
We're looking for fire here.
That would make for a much better story. I'm now realizing this story is not up to muster. To be honest, I'm not bringing my A game for the radio.
I'm gonna have to give you a 2 on that one, man.
Yeah.
No,
we need some dog poo in there.
Yeah, it'll definitely make Talaga happy.
So, Chris, you just started doing comedy what, a year ago? Or something like that?
No, not even. I started in like January of this year.
January.
January is when I started doing like the open mic, and yeah, it's just kind of been moving slowly upwards.
Let me hold on, Alan. If you can grab your microphone there, with or comedians like Chris here, wet behind the ears.
Behind the ears. It's true. I'm wet behind the ears. Sometimes the armpits. A little.
My mic's on now.
Behind the ears, behind the knees.
My mic's on now, so I can talk again.
A lot of moisture going on at the comedy shows.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was just wondering, you know, from a veteran comedian like Alan.
Oh yeah, I did comedy in Korea.
Yeah, he did. He was right there.
Nice.
Had to get him out of there.
Put that shit on a T-shirt.
What got you into comedy, man?
Me? I mean, I've always been like a huge comedy nerd, and yeah, like all my life, like it's something I've always wanted to do, but there's never been a place for me to do it. And then I moved to Madison, and all of a sudden there was a place to do it, and so it just took me about 6 months of just kind of like hanging out, like the longest time, just kind of like sack up and get up on stage and try to make people laugh, and just kind of been like, once I did it, I was like, why did I wait as long as I did? This was amazing. So yeah, and it's just kind of been every single Wednesday up there for the open mics and just kind of going from there.
So you say you're just a comedy. What was the word?
Comedy nerd.
So being a comedy nerd, I being a total sports nerd, I have lots of favorites and everything. What were some of the comedians that you grew up watching, or even somebody from before that time that you really look up to?
I mean, like one of the main things that like really kind of grabbed me early was Mr. Show, which was like a sketch comedy show on HBO in like the mid to late '90s. Had like David Cross, Bob Odenkirk, Jeanine Garofalo was kind of associated with those guys as well. Sarah Silverman came out of that crowd.
Scott Aukerman.
Wrote on that show a lot, and there was Paul F. Tompkins got his start from there. I mean, they just kind of like, it was just this amazing little like cluster of people that all ended up going off to do amazing things with comedy. And Patton Oswalt's another one that's like just amazing. All those guys just kind of made it look so easy, and just kind of finally I moved to a place that had a spot where you could like actually try to find your own voice. So.
He's lying. He loves Carlos Mencia.
I told you that. I told you that in confidence. I told you that one time in confidence, and you blabber it out there for everyone to hear.
Clearly, there's no such thing as confidence.
No. It's the last secret I ever tell him.
Unless you feed him Arby's, then he's all right.
Get a nice Jamocha shake in him, like soften him up.
So when we were off air, you were telling us about this woman who said you looked like a sexy Chris Farley.
Yeah, we also can't keep a secret.
I was at the Argus a couple of weeks ago, and there was a woman. I was coming back from smoking a cigarette, and there was a woman who like kind of stopped me, and with the most like, you know, like sincerity, she was like, you know, you really look like a sexy Chris Farley. Like this was intended to be like the best thing that I had heard all night. Like she was gonna like really make my night by being like, yeah, you look like a sexy Chris Farley, and that's a horrible thing to ever tell anyone. And so like I immediately kind of like wanted to kind of like shoot back, like, oh yeah, you look like a totally like, you know, fuckable Sandra Bernhard, like that'll totally we're totally rocking around.
You came back with that?
I didn't. I'm too much of a gentleman. I thought it though, so I'm not that much of a gentleman, I guess. But
you do look like a sexy Chris Farley though.
Thank you. It's true.
That's a huge compliment coming from Stoli.
But those are fair enough.
Would you rather be called a not sexy Chris Farley?
I don't know. Isn't that worse?
Yeah, that's
You're an
what-
ugly Chris Farley.
It's fairly redundant. It's kind of a. I don't know. It's a bit of an oxymoron.
Yeah.
An unsexy Chris Farley. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm in the man's backyard. So
maybe she loves her BHMs.
Oh,
Big
man.
handsome men.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, put him in a tiny coat and just she just
Gets bubbly.
gets moist, gets a little wet behind the ears, if you know what I mean.
Moist.
No, yeah.
This is that word.
You're from the South. We're from the South.
Originally, I'm from North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina is where I was born and raised. Wait, what? Hold on. What is? We got a fellow Kakalakian in the house apparently.
Sean, I think Sean's from that area. I think. How about
Is it?
that?
Yeah.
He's from that area, the South.
He's from.
North Carolina, brother.
He's from North Carolina. The Kakalaka.
Kakalaka.
Where are you from in North Carolina?
I grew up just outside of Winston-Salem in Clemens, North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
And then
This is appropriate music,
Winston-Salem. And then after Winston-Salem, I moved to Charlotte before I found out about Last Crack. And then I became Last Crack's new lead singer.
There you go. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
This is good radio.
This is incredible radio. We're bonding
Reminiscent about
over
the
here. Yeah, we're
Carolinas.
just fist bumping and
It's
bonding
awesome,
over being good old boys.
So what's on your calendar, man? What do you for shows? What do you got coming up?
I mean, like right now, I'm trying to set up another showcase on Thursday. I don't have one of those lined up yet. Pretty much like Wednesdays at the open mic. I'm trying to get time up there. I mean, regardless. Everybody should come out to those. Clearly, I mean, it's great local talent. Everybody gets a chance. So yeah.
And if people want to check out some of your comedy, you got anything on YouTube or in your Facebook page?
I don't have anything on YouTube. On Twitter, I am Pickles Dickles.
Nice.
Yep, Pickles Dickles. That's one of those things. You just kind of the words just sounded right together, and it's just never looked back. One of the things I'm doing for the Comedy Club on State, I'm doing I just got the job doing their Facebook and Twitter. So if you can follow on Twitter on Comedy on State or Comedy Club on State on Facebook as well. And I'll be the guy behind all that stuff in the coming days. So.
Awesome, man. Joe's still there?
Yeah, Joe's still there.
Say
Still
hey to Joe, man.
saying hell yeah and fuck yeah and boom, all those Joe-isms.
Yeah, we gotta get Joe back on the show sometime, man. Joe's a good guy, man.
I'd love to hear Joe on this show.
He kills it, actually.
He does, sure.
Comedian Chris Lay, thanks for coming into the Bastard Den
It's
today, man.
absolutely my pleasure. Look forward to coming on back.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Coming up here, Axiom. We'll have a chat with them. Here's some new tunes off their CD. Tell you about the show that's happening this Friday at the Annex. That's all coming up in the Bastard Den on Max Inc. Radio.
You're listening to Max Inc. Radio. Radio for the people.